In the winter of 1884, in a small Dutch village named Wijmeren, life was quiet, simple, and peaceful. The fields were green, the windmills turned slowly, and the great dikes, massive walls protecting the land from the sea, stood firm against the rising tides. It was near midnight. Wind howled outside like a desperate creature clawing at the earth. Rain hammered the rooftops, waves grew higher, smashing against the dikes that held back the North Sea. Most villagers slept peacefully, unaware that the greatest danger of their lives was seconds away. But Peter von Loon, a 12-year-old boy, couldn't sleep. He heard a sound outside, a hollow, rhythmic noise. Drip, drip, drip. Curious, he grabbed his lantern and walked toward the dike. And then he saw it. A small hole in the massive wall, water leaking through like a silver snake. Peter froze. His father had once told him, "If you ever see a leak in the dike, even a small one, run, because a drop becomes a river, and a river becomes death." Peter wanted to run. His heart pounded. The storm screamed louder. The hole grew wider, water spraying out violently. But if he ran to get help, the dike would burst before he returned. The entire village, his family, his friends, everyone he knew would vanish under the sea. So Peter made a choice no child should ever have to make. He put down his lantern, walked to the hole, took a deep breath, and jammed his tiny hand into the freezing gap, blocking the water with his own body. Instantly, the pressure nearly tore his arm out of its socket. The icy water stabbed into his skin. Pain exploded through him. But he held on, because if he let go, even for a single second, the village would die. Minutes felt like hours. Hours felt like days. Peter's arm went numb. His clothes were soaked. The storm grew worse, waves pounding the dike like fists. He wanted to scream. He wanted to sleep. He wanted to run home and hide under his blanket. But he stayed. Alone, cold, terrified, yet unshakable. Every time the wind tried to knock him down, he leaned into it. Every time the water pushed harder, he pushed back. The lantern beside him burned out. The night turned pitch black. Still, he didn't move. Hours later, just before sunrise, two farmers walking early noticed something strange near the dike. A small figure, hunched over, unmoving. When they ran closer, they realized it was Peter. Shivering, pale, his hand buried in the leaking wall. One man shouted for help. The other grabbed Peter, trying to remove him from the dike, but the boy's voice, weak and cracked, whispered, "Don't. It will break." The farmers didn't waste a second. Within minutes, dozens of villagers arrived with wood, sandbags, and tools. As they worked to seal the dike, Peter finally lost consciousness and collapsed into his father's arms. The dike was secured. The sea was pushed back. The village was saved. Doctors said Peter had survived the night through sheer willpower. But here's what shocked the villagers most. Without Peter's sacrifice, the entire region would have been underwater by morning. News spread across the Netherlands. People traveled from far away just to meet the boy who defied the sea. But Peter always said the same thing. "I didn't do anything special. I just didn't want my village to disappear." He lived to be an old man, quiet, humble, and respected. But in Wymerin, he is remembered not as a boy, but as the child who held back the North Sea with a single hand. Courage doesn't wait for age. Even the smallest person can stand against the biggest storm if their heart is strong enough.